Hey everybody, I hope you're having a good day. If you're new to the channel, my name is Daniel Guaba. I am a private tutor from New York City, and the main thing I do is teach world languages. So today I'm going to be giving you guys 5 tips when you're starting out on learning a new language and getting you started on the right track. So the first tip I'm going to give you guys is to do some research. Now, what I mean is basically you're going to be wanting to figure out where is your target language spoken and who speaks your language or who is learning your language. The reason that I think it's a good idea to do some research when you're thinking about learning a new language is that you can build more of a connection with the language itself, learn about the people who speak it and their culture, and really appreciate the language more. Another thing is you might have some ideas about the language already, or you might know something about the country that it's spoken in or the people who speak it, and you might want to learn more. So this is another good opportunity to start getting your foot in the door and learning more about the language and its people. So an important thing is stay curious. All right, guys. Number 2 is to start thinking in your target language as soon as possible. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. How can I possibly think in a language that I don't know yet? So what I really mean when I say learn how to think in your target language, what I mean is you should be thinking about how your target language orders their words. So let's take a look at an example. In English, we have subject, verb, and object word order. So subject is the person or thing doing an action. The verb is the action they do, and the object is the thing that is affected by our action. So if we take a look at the example, we have I drink water. So I am the subject, the drink is what I am doing, and water is my object. It is the thing that I am affecting with my drinking. Now, if we take a look at Japanese, for example, the word order isn't SVO like in English, it's actually SOV. So a sentence in English like I drink water becomes I water drink. Now, of course, this is a really simple example and there are only 3 words, but it's important to get that foundation started where you start thinking about where do those key words go in a sentence in your target language so that you start using English words to think about how you would say things in your target language. Now, I know when you get into a new language, it's really exciting and you want to try to learn as much as you can as fast as possible, but it's important to remember that you should not bite off more than you can chew. Now, the reason for this, the number one reason that I tell you not to try to take on too much at first is because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. Now, if you open up a textbook, you might see a lot of words that you'll be tempted to learn, a lot of different grammatical constructions. But the important thing is to pick out things that are important and relevant to you. So find phrases and words that you think are going to be useful for when you're speaking and things that you are going to want to hear and understand and focus on those in the beginning. Pace yourself. Think about how much time you want to use a day to study your language. And another thing is you want to go into it with a critical thinking lens. You want to be looking for patterns so that as you find new material and you encounter new contexts and sentences, you can look for things that you already know or seen before and try to figure out how new things work. All right, guys, tip number 4. We touched on this a bit in the last slide, but this one is find your key phrases. So as I said before, you want to find things to say that are going to be useful and relevant to you. Maybe you're a student and you want to know how to say that you're a student, that you're studying a language in school. Or maybe you're a worker and you want to be able to say that you're looking for new partners to do business with. You have to find things that are going to be important for you. Now, something that's always important, and regardless of what language, is going to be introducing yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a quick way to introduce yourself and where you're from in the 4 different languages that I use most of the time. So we're going to start off in English, where we have, my name is Daniel, I'm American. In Spanish, yo soy Daniel, soy americano. Then we have Japanese, watashi wa Daniel desu, Amerikajin desu. And finally, we have Chinese, 我叫丹，我是美国人。So all you got to do to be able to use those sentences for yourself is replace Daniel, 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 or Dan in the sentences that I said with your own name. And you'll be able to say your own name and that you're American. Now, if you need to know how to say a different country, we might get into that in later videos, so stay tuned. All right, guys, and tip number 5, this is pretty important, is track your progress. What I mean by this is remember where you started, where you've come from, and have a way to compare your current level to your past level. Now, I know there are some situations where it might be impossible to not compare yourself with others, but I want to encourage you to compare yourself mostly to yourself. Try to think about where you were a few days, a few weeks, or months ago, and how far you've come along. Everyone's going to be learning at a different rate, so you don't want to compare yourself with someone who might be putting a different amount of time. Maybe they just happen to be in a place where they can hear the language more. Everyone's going to have their own situation, so you want to think about what is the best for you and how much progress are you making. Now, speaking of progress, I also wanted to mention that it's a good idea to get into the habit of studying every day. Now, it doesn't have to be the same time of day, doesn't have to be studying the same kind of material, but you should try to make a schedule for yourself because this will help you stay committed. Finally, having a study partner can be really useful. Now, this could be someone else who is also studying the same language as you, or maybe it's a language parent, someone who is a native speaker of your language that you can check in with. They can check your pronunciation and grammar, or you can just try to have regular daily conversations. Another added benefit is that someone who is studying with you or watching your progress will be able to give you feedback and will be able to see how much progress you're really making when you're not sure of yourself. So that's it for this video, guys. Just 5 quick tips helping you guys get started on a new language journey. So what do you think? Have you used any of these strategies before? Did you learn something new? Let me know in the comments below. What has your experience with language learning been so far? Of course, remember to hit the subscribe button so you get a notification of the next time that I upload a video, and I look forward to seeing you